Salvete omnes. This is Abbey Latin Liber Primus, chapter 5. This is a video lesson on syntax, Latin adjectives, and the genitive of possession. We'll start with adjectives. So, agreement of adjectives. A Latin adjective must agree with the noun that it modifies in gender, in number, and in case. It must agree in all three ways. If it does not agree in all three ways, in gender, number, and case, then the adjective does not modify, does not go with the noun. That does not mean that the adjective must have the same ending as the noun. We've already seen a couple of nouns that, though they are one gender, like masculine, they look like they are wearing another gender's endings. So if you look at this sentence, feminae sunt bonae, we have feminae sunt bonae, where feminae, that is nominative, feminine, and plural. And the endings reflect that. They look nominative, feminine, and plural, first declension. Sunt is a linking verb, like an equal sign, and then bonae. Bonae, from bonus aum. It's a first and second declension adjective. We have the feminine first declension endings because feminae is a feminine noun. So this is a nominative, feminine, plural, bonae. They have the same endings. That's fine. But check out this. Agricolae sunt mali. Agricolae sunt mali. So agricolae, A-E, mali. They agree. Mali modifies, agrees with agricolae, even though they don't look like it because they don't have the same endings. They don't have the same endings because they're not in the same declension. Agricola, though agricola is masculine, he's in the first declension with a lot of feminine nouns. So malus aum, this adjective, the masculine path only follows second declension masculine. So it can only have second declension masculine endings. Mali. Agricola can only have first declension endings, which are predominantly feminine, though agricola is masculine. So agricolae, this is why parsing is so important. This is nominative, masculine, plural. It's masculine, though it may not look it. Sunt is our linking verb. Mali, nominative, masculine, plural. We need to use the masculine forms. Malus. Malus, mali, malo, malum, malo. Mali, malorum, malis, malos, malis. The masculine forms need to go with agricola because it's a masculine noun. All right, so this next one, adjectives used as substantives, nouns. Latin likes to do this a lot. So if Latin can get away with not using a noun, just using the adjective instead, oh yeah, they'll do that. The Romans love doing that. So in Latin, any adjective may be used as a noun. Any adjective, we're not changing the part of speech here. So get that straight, that we're not changing the part of speech. When a word is that part of speech, so when a verb is a verb, when a noun is a noun, when adjective is an adjective, those words are that part of speech, and they just are. They can't change. Now, we can modify words in such a way that we can give other parts of speeches powers to them. Like, say, we can modify an adjective in English so that it acts like a noun. We can do that. We do that in English. Latin likes to do that a lot. So, for instance, a sentence like, the good die young. The good die young. So we have the good, the verb die, and then young. So good is an adjective. It always and forever is an adjective. Good is not a noun. Good is not a verb. Good is only a noun when we use it substantively, like your goods, like goods and services. Goods and services. Goods is a noun, but it entirely comes from the adjective. Notice we put an S on it. So we use the adjective good, like the good girl, the good man. We don't say the goods man, the goods girl. So when we add an S to it, we modify that word, it becomes a noun, goods. So the good die young, we've modified the adjective good by putting a definite article in front of it. The good. We don't just say good die young, we say the good. And when a native English speaker hears the good die young, a native English speaker understands that we're implying a noun there. What we're really saying is the good people die young. And young is a predicate nominative. It's an adjective, agreeing with the subject implied people or persons. But it's really good. The good is a substantive adjective. The good die young. So Latin likes to do this by just having the adjective. So let's say malus, by itself. If you encountered this word by itself, malus, go to the ending, us. This is masculine and singular. Us, you can tell it's masculine and singular, us, malus. And just by the ending, malus, you should be able to look and see that masculine singular ending, and you can imply the word man. Masculine singular, you can imply the noun man. So malus, just by itself, that adjective can dress itself up as a noun and mean a wicked man, a malus, a wicked man. I know it means man. I know how to translate it man because it has the us, masculine singular us ending. Now, if we had mali, that would be wicked plural men, because it's nominative plural. Now, because Latin is a sexist language, the Romans view masculine as the dominant gender. Masculine dominates over feminine and over neuter. So this is also, we can also imply the noun people, a collective group of persons. So wicked men, mali, or wicked people, the mali, the bad ones, the wicked ones. The wicked. Even in English we can say the wicked, but notice we put a definite article in front of it, the wicked. So we've changed that adjective wicked into a substantive adjective, and that means substantive noun, a noun adjective. So an adjective with noun powers, the wicked. For feminine, we'd say amala, a wicked woman, mala, a wicked woman. And then plural would be malai, wicked women, the wicked, and they are women. Malum, would be a wicked thing. The Romans love to imply a thing, and they use the neuter gender for it. Malum, a wicked thing, and mala would be wicked things. They especially love doing substantives with the adjective multus a So the nominative plural, masculine, multi is often used as they or the many people. So many people do this, the many. Here in this sentence we have multa de geografia disco. I am learning multa, many things. It's got a neuter plural ending, multa, neuter plural. So I can imply the noun things because it's plural and it's neuter, things. I can imply many things from this ending. I am learning many things, plural neuter, about de geografia, about geography. This takes some time to get, but once you sort of understand, the reason that adjectives have noun endings is because they're like nouns' little brothers or little sisters, or like nouns' little siblings. They have the same endings, they look like them, but they follow them everywhere, and they kind of do the same things that they do. So once you start treating adjectives to be kind of like nouns, not the same as nouns, having the same properties sometimes as nouns, looking like nouns, doing the same things as nouns, but make sure you do put that crowbar in between nouns and adjectives. They are separate things. They're similar. They're like siblings, but they are different. So once again, we can use adjectives as nouns substantively. And it's from the substantive use that adjectives like, originally amigos, this is an adjective, amigos a where it's masculine, feminine, and neuter, meaning friendly. And it's from this substantive use that we get an amicus is a friendly, amicus, a friendly man. An amica would be a friendly woman, a woman who is a friend, a girlfriend. And then an amicum would be a neuter friendly thing, and that would be kind of weird. But there are nouns, you know them, amicus e masculine, friend. There is an amica I feminine form for a female friend, a girlfriend. So we can derive nouns, amicus e masculine, friend, is derived from the adjective. Same thing with Gallus e masculine, a Gaul, a Gallic man, a man who is from Gallia I feminine, that is derived from the adjective Gallus. This is a masculine Gaul, a Gallic person who is masculine, who is male, a Gallic man, a Gaul, Gallus e masculine. A Gallic woman would be a Galla, I feminine, and the plural would be Gallae, Gallarum. And it's from this use we get here's the adjective liber, libera, liberum, free. We get the Latin word for children, the wee ones, the little ones. They are the liberi, liberorum, and it's a plural noun because when they run in packs, they are liberi, children. When they are individualized, they are usually named by their sex, either a puer or a puella. The reason that they are called little free ones is because in a Roman familia, in a household, there's the pater, the father, the mater, the mother. There are the servi, the slaves, and then the liberi. They're not adults, they're not slaves, they're little free ones. They're the free ones that kind of run around. So the children. More adjective quirks. Any adjective modifying a compound subject, so that means that we have two subjects. So we have et filius, et filia, both son and daughter. Sunt will be plural. That makes sense. And masculine, as I've said before, Latin is a sexist language. Masculine takes precedence over the feminine and the neuter. So here we have son and daughter equals. The masculine takes precedence, so we have nominative plural masculine boni, boni, and that stands for both of them. However, but, one T, an adjective as a predicate may take the gender and number of the noun closest to it, especially if the adjective precedes a compound subject. So if we have this compound subject, so filios et filia. So really the sentence is supposed to be like bonus es filios, and then the et filia sort of an afterthought. So bonus es filios et filia, where we intended just to say that good is my son is good. Oh, and also my daughter too. So if we had filia first, it would have been bona est filia et filios, because the filius would have been the afterthought. So the adjective comes first, and then notice a singular linking verb. We're up here, we had the plural one. A singular linking verb because we had a singular subject, and then the et is sort of the afterthought. They came on after before we thought that this would be plural. So once again, if we had filia here, that would be bona est filia et filios. So my daughter is good, as is my son. So the reversals can be flipped. If the nouns are not persons but things having the same gender, then a predicate adjective is usually in the plural and it agrees with the noun's gender. So we have things, so amicitia, that's a thing, not a person. Fortuna, that is also a thing, not a person. And they happen to have the same gender. They're both feminine. The predicate adjective will usually be plural and also feminine plural to agree with the two of them. And if the nouns are not persons but things, then they have different genders. So we've got a feminine amicitia, feminine et fortuna, but a masculine et honor. The predicate adjective is usually then plural, but then will be neuter. And then it's almost like saying that friendship and fortune and honor are praiseworthy things. things. So it's almost like that laudanda is acting like a substantive adjective, and we're implying the noun things. Okay, moving on to some English syntax. So English will show possession, that is, ownership of one noun over another. Either, number one, by using the noun's apostrophe forms, so that would be like books, or books with the apostrophe after the S. Or, two, English will use a prepositional phrase, so the preposition of, and then adding the noun, so of the noun, and then the plural just adds the S, so of the nouns. So English, two ways to show possession, either by using those apostrophe forms or using a prepositional phrase of. Classical Latin has no way to express this number two. So Classical Latin has no prepositional phrase, nothing like of, to express ownership or possession. Latin will use the genitive case, so your genitive case forms, for both number one and number two. So the genitive case in Latin is very much equivalent to English's apostrophe S forms, because these in themselves are originally from older Germanic forms, buces. So we have the apostrophe S instead of S, buces. So we're going to be using the genitive case to show possession. The genitive shows possession. No prepositional phrase in Latin to show possession. The primary function of the genitive case, on the whole, is to bestow a noun with adjectival qualities, with qualities of an adjective, so that noun, having now been bestowed with adjectival qualities, can modify another noun. So here we have a phrase, the Augustan house, where Augustan is an adjective, and it is modifying agreeing with house, the Augustan house. And that is pretty much rather equivalent to saying Augustus's house, as in, is the house belonging to Augustus. In both phrases, we could say that, the Augustan house, the house belonging to Augustus. Augustus's house, the house that belongs to Augustus, that Augustus owns or possesses. So the genitive case, its primary function, usage, possession, that really is born from turning one noun into sort of an adjective. This is essentially like a noun modifying another noun. Let's look at a couple examples in Latin. So the genitive of possession, indicating possessor or owner of another noun. Agricolae filia ad agrum ambulat. Agricolae filia ad agrum ambulat. So the farmer's daughter is walking to the field. The farmer's daughter, we could say the daughter of the farmer, because once again, you need to ask yourself, who is doing the action of the verb? Well, filia, that is the nominative singular subject. She's in the nominative case. The verb is third person singular. She's the singular subject. Agricolae has to be genitive. It can't be the nominative plural because it would be have to doing the verb. The verb is singular. This is plural. So filia, the daughter, is doing the verb. The daughter is walking to the field. The daughter of the farmer. The farmer possesses or owns the daughter, but the daughter is the one who is walking to the field. So the nominative subject is still doing the action of the verb. It's just that now the nominative subject, this noun, is being modified by this noun, almost as if this noun were like an adjective. So this noun, in the genitive case, possession, is possessing or owning this noun. So the farmer's daughter, we could say the daughter of the farmer is walking to the field. Viri agros agricolarum occupant. So the men are seizing the farmers, S apostrophe, fields, the fields of the farmers. The men are seizing the fields of the farmers. So we have the men, the subject, they are the ones doing the action. To the direct object, the fields, the men are seizing the fields, and then the fields of the farmers, genitive plural. So we could also say the farmers' fields. It's almost like this noun in the genitive case has been given some sort of adjective powers and can now modify this noun. Because normally you can't stick a noun right next to a noun. That doesn't work unless you make one noun a genitive. Genitive of possession. So we can say of the farmers or just the farmers. Optime. Very well done. That's it for syntax for chapter 5. You are now ready to move on to the English exercise for chapter 5. Optime, valete omnes.